Well, the thing is, you have said a lot of things, but the question is, how do you get approved for the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards credit card? And that's what I want to talk to you today about, because I want to really actually spill the beans on a lot of things. And I want to tell you what Navy Fed never told you about this card's approval process. Again, we are talking about the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation, I guarantee you. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Q Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you had to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka, and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards credit card. It is a fantastic credit card, and I want to talk to you about certain things that Navy Fed never told you about this card's approval process. Okay, your FICO score counts in the approval process, don't get me wrong, but these 7 elements sometimes matter way more to NFCU than your FICO score. The first element is your NFCU internal score. It's very important. I mean, your NFCU internal score counts the most. It's really important because a lot of people, sometimes they are surprised, how come I have a FICO score of 725, 750, and then I get denied? It's very simple. It's because your internal score at NFCU is low. Okay, it's probably around 200 or 250. Okay, there is a strong correlation between your FICO score and your NFCU internal score. However, in certain cases, especially if you have some NSF events, you have adverse events like overdrafts and non-sufficient funds bouncing checks, there could be a dichotomy. There could be a contradiction between your NFCU score and your FICO score. So when we talk about the NFCU internal score, you got to think about the ratio of new accounts to all accounts. Those are elements that actually feed into your Navy Fed internal score. Okay, so if you have a high ratio of new account to all accounts, that means in the eyes of NFCU that you are actually desperate. Let me just tell you right away, okay? If you have a very thin credit history, this could also play against you. In other words, the length of credit history plays an important role. And if you have a high number of credit inquiries also, this could be very adverse to you when it comes to being approved for the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards, okay? And what about credit utilization? Well, yeah, boss, if your credit utilization is kind of high, this could be also really bad. Okay, so those are really important. I want you to internalize these things. Okay, if you have a high CUR, if your NFCU score is around 200, because normally the delta is 100 to 450. Okay, so those are things you need to pay attention to. So pro tips here. You want to constantly work on your NFCU score, internal score. In other words, you want to make sure it is as high as possible. Number 2, one of the reasons why you might be denied for this card, the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards, is if your card count with NFCU is kind of high. You have to understand, NFCU has 6 credit cards, right? Including the secure credit card and the Amex card. So those are 6. But the thing is, if your current NFCU card count matters a lot. If you have more than 4 credit cards or more than 3 credit cards from Navy Fed, this could be a problem. In other words, Navy Fed is not going to approve your ass anymore for a new credit card. Come on, man. You'll be you have 3 credit cards already or 4 credit cards already, and you want another one for what? You just better use the card you have now. So that's the conversation I want to have with you. I'm talking to you, okay? I'm talking to you about making sure that you have a strategic number of credit cards. Okay, so Navy Fed has 6 credit cards. I've said this before. We have the cash rewards, the platinum, the gold rewards, right? the Visa Signature Flagship Rewards, which is the center of today's conversation. We have the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express credit card, and then we have the N Rewards secured card, right? So the question to you is, what is your current count? Your current card count. How many cards you have from Navy Fed? Talk to me about that. You have 2, you have 3. What do you have? Talk to me about it. So if you have more than 3, don't you even try to apply for this Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards card, because they're not going to approve you unless you have a high FICO score and a high Navy Fed internal score. Okay, so you also have to think about the last time you applied for a Navy Fed credit card. Was it 6 months ago, 3 months ago? Hold on. The thing is, you got to be patient, right? You can't be applying for a Navy Fed credit card every now and then. What's up with that? We just walk around. Some people talk about Navy Fed midnight hack. I'm not going to sleep. Everybody's snoring in the house, and I'm just sitting around until midnight. Midnight. I'm just going to wait for Navy Fed personnel to go home, and this is when I'm going to implement the Navy Fed hack. This is kind of funny, but this is really true. What I'm trying to tell you is that none of those things work. Okay, there is nothing called a Navy Fed hack. It doesn't work. So big decision time for you. Big decision time. What is your current card count? Talk to me about that. How many cards you have? 2, 3, 4. So less than 3, fewer than 3 cards, you want to wait. Okay, if you have 2 cards, that's fine. You can still apply for this Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards. Not a problem. I want to talk to you about something very important. This is quintessential. Your travel. See, your spending pattern, especially when it comes to travel, matters also. Okay, when we talk about this particular card, this is actually a card that it's a travel rewards card, right? So if you are not somebody who travels a lot, you're just sitting around here and just you're sitting around in Teaneck, New Jersey, always going to, or maybe Fort Lee, New Jersey, and not even traveling to Connecticut. If you're a couch potato and you don't travel a lot, this is not the card for you. I'm just telling you right now. But if, on the contrary, you are a family person, a family man, a family woman, you travel a lot, this is kind of cool, because this card has all the amenities, quote unquote amenities, that could actually will fit your spending patterns. It's very important that when you apply for a credit card, that the credit cards and rewards fit your spending pattern. Otherwise, you'll be wasting a lot of FICO score points. You'll be wasting a lot of time, APR, all that kind of stuff. Okay, and this travel card is kind of cool because it has no foreign transaction fee, which is really good. It has a generous sign-up bonus. This is really good. It has bonus rewards option. This is really good. And in some cases, it has a special airline or hotel perks. So those are things that could be interesting. That could be appealing to a family of 4 or 5 or 6, a family of 10, who knows, who actually loves traveling. Okay, so number 3, you need to pay attention to travel. Now, Navy Fed has never told you that, but listen, they're not going to prove your ass if they realize that you are just not traveling enough. Okay, it's really what it is, and they're not going to give you a card, because Navy Fed is quote unquote a credit union. I know, but it's also a business. In other words, they have to make money. So a credit card issuer makes money when you use the card. So why would they give you a card if you're not using the card? Okay, because they're not charging you any APR. They're not making money from processing fees. This is wasted revenue. Okay, so because of that, they're not going to give you this card. But if you are a traveler, if you're a travel aficionado like I am, okay, then you can actually increase your chances of being approved for this credit card. Okay, this is very important. The next thing I want to talk to you about is your NMCU banking, because I'm talking to you about banking. You know what that is, right? What is that? Banking means it doesn't. No, hold on. You're just probably thinking, I just have to have a checking account. It's more than that. It's more advanced. You see, when we talk about credit, it is a super business. It is. You need logic. You need a program. You need a formula. Okay. You need to have a strategy for banking at NFCU, because your NFCU MPR matters more than your FICO score in some cases. What I'm trying to say here is that if you have a deep, I'm talking about a very deep conversation, a deep relationship with Navy Fed, but you happen to have a low FICO score. In some cases, you could be approved for the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards. Yeah. It's not just about, see, when we talk about multi-product relationship, because that's what MPR means. When we talk about that, we're not just talking about quantity. We hear this all the time. People actually dropping notes and comments on our YouTube channel and talking about, I've been in Navy Fed for 17 years and 23 years, and they have never raised my my credit limit. Boss, the thing is, you've been with Navy Fed for 23 years, but you've been actually parking peanuts in terms of money with Navy Fed. If you've been with the credit union for 17 years or 23 years, and you've been only you've been maintaining balances of $25 or $10, guess what? They are going to give you a limit of $100. Yeah. It's not always about, I've been here long enough, so I qualify for whatever. I have a high FICO score. I qualify because I have a high FICO score, and I've been a member for 17 years. It's all about the cash you are parking at the company. It has to be in and out. It has to be a mutually beneficial relationship. Okay, so when we talk about NFCU banking, I want you to remember, you got to have checking accounts, savings accounts, investment accounts, money market accounts, certificate of deposits, IRAs. As a matter of fact, Navy Fed has an investment arm. This is the private banking arm that you really need to check out. So the approach is when you have NFCU banking, if you want to solidify your banking, you want to have at least 2 accounts. 2 deposit accounts. Remember, I'm not talking about liability accounts. I'm speaking about asset accounts. Let's talk about adverse items. See, the thing is, you probably are thinking, I want to have the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards credit card. That's a tall order, boss. If you have adverse derogatory items on your credit report, this is not good. This is not really good. I mean, Navy Fed is kind of flexible and all on that. They sometimes they look at you as a credit profile holistically. They look at things like your net worth, your income, your liabilities, your assets, all that kind of stuff. But if you have derogatory items, this could be difficult. So what you want to do first is you want to actually annihilate. You want to remove those derogatory items if you can, because some of them you can't really. You have to wait for the 7 years or the 10 years statutory period to actually let it fall off. But if you can dispute it, if you can actually, whatever you can do to just annihilate, to remove this from your credit, do it. Okay? Do it. So when we talk about adverse items, they play a pivotal role. Okay, what are those derogatory items? I'm talking about late payments. I'm talking about charge-offs. I'm talking about repo. No, this is not somebody's name. This is a repossession. I'm talking about foreclosure. I mean, have you had to go through foreclosure? Or bankruptcy filings. What is your financial situation right now? Talk to me about your monetary status. Are you just broke? I mean, are you really just trying to scrape by? Are you really or are you just chilling? Are you banking? Are you rolling right now? Talk to me about that. Because the thing is, once you have a clear idea of your situation, you can start planning ahead. You can start actually strategizing, right? It's all about being in movement, right? When I talk to you about credit, you got to really first take stock of your situation. I'm broke. I'm a broke ass. Things are kind of bad. Whatever. I made some mistakes. Whatever. But once you realize that, now you are powerful. You are empowered because you start thinking about what is my next move. You're thinking, you're like, okay, you know what? I have to do this. I have to get a job. I have to have another job, whatever. Okay. So money. If you have adverse events on your adverse items on your credit report, think about using the little cash you have right now, either by negotiating a payment plan with vendors or trying to pay off those adverse events, those charge-offs, those collection items, those late payments, so that you can restore, that's the key word. You can restore your FICO score. Very important. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Q Show. We are also having a conversation, a very interesting conversation about how to apply for the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards credit card. And I'm just giving you a few items, a few gems you need to think about so that you can apply for this credit card very properly and get approved, because that's the key word. We want to be approved. We don't want anybody's ass to be rejected, okay? And the thing is, the next element, the next thing you need to think about is your credit utilization ratio. I already touched on that, and we touch on this all the time on this show. And sometimes people say, some people say, you know what? You guys are repeating the same thing. Well, guess what? Nobody ain't doing it. Some people ain't doing it. So we got to keep repeating this thing until nobody else gets denied. That's our mission, okay? So repetition is important when you're teaching, when you are explaining something. You gotta repeat and repeat and repeat. So I'm very happy to repeat certain things. Credit utilization is important. You have to maintain a low CUR. I don't care if you have. See, the problem. See, you know the thing is people sometimes mistake when you have when you're making a lot of money. They think, oh wow, this person makes a lot of cash, so they probably have a high CUR. I probably have a low CUR. But no, don't confuse CUR and DTI. We have a lot of folks, a lot of athletes, to just name just to take a category of people who actually make a lot of cash, but they file for bankruptcy. You know why? Because their credit utilization ratio is high. Their debt to income is high. They live beyond their means. Okay, so if you want to lower your credit utilization ratio, there are a lot of things you have to do. Live within your means, pay off your balances. Yeah, you can sometimes open a balance transfer credit card to sort of switch, sort of transfer balances from one card to another. Okay, request a credit limit increase also on your existing credit cards. Okay, I'm talking to you about the cards that you currently have, not the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards card that you want to apply for. Okay, and in some cases, if it is possible, apply for a new credit card. Yeah, apply for a new credit card so that you have enough bandwidth on your credit. Okay, credit card. When we talk about credit utilization ratio, we want to focus on how you manage your credit cards, how you use your credit cards. Okay, how you pay them back. Very important. I want to talk to you now about the last item of today's conversation. Hey, boss, we are still here. We just, I don't know if you just caught up, caught up with us or whatever, but membership is important. Your membership in Navy Fed is important. Now, what I mean by the membership, I'm talking about the recency or oldness of your membership anniversary date plays an important role. Let me just say that again. The recency or oldness of your membership anniversary date plays an important role. What does that mean? It means that if you're new or if you are old in the Navy Fed house, it really has an important role. Okay, if you're just new, you just got approved maybe a few months ago, and you just new in the house, and you just come in the house and there was a party going on, you just want to participate, you want to partake right away. Hey, hold your horses. You just new here, you just got here. Okay, just sit around, take a sip, whatever, trying to talk a little bit, trying to network, trying to mingle. All right. And once you are comfortable, you're in the house and you've been with Navy Fed for 6 months at least, and they're comfortable with your accounts or whatever, then you can start applying for credit cards and other credit products. Okay. This is really important. A lot of folks, they just forget about that. They just like, I have a high FICO score. I can just apply right away. You can apply right away and you can be approved or you could be denied. Because as I told you earlier, your FICO score is just one element that Navy Fed pays attention to. They also pay attention to your NFCU score, internal score. Okay, so when you start right away, your internal score is going to start around a 100. Oh yeah, it's going to start out, and 100 is the bottom. It's really the low. It's really the lower part of the when you look at the range, it goes from 100 to 450, right? So it's important that you have to think about your membership status. So when were you approved for membership? Your membership status so far, your check systems record, okay, your banking reality with Navy Fed. Have you been running a few bounce checks, or is everything clean with you? Your NPR, I've spoken about that before when I spoke about Navy Fed banking, okay? And you got to think about your Navy Fed debt situation. How many credit cards you currently have? Do you have a business line of credit? Do you have a business loan? Do you have a personal line of credit? Do you have a personal loan with Navy Fed? Those are things you have to think about. So here is a winner strategy. A winner strategy. The thing here is that if you want to be approved for this Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards credit card, make sure that you reduce your Navy Fed debt and that you actually wait a little bit in terms of recency or oldness of your membership before you apply. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate that. In today's conversation, I was quickly talking to you about the Navy Fed Visa Signature Flagship Rewards credit card. What Navy Fed never told you about this card underwriting process, approval process, and I just spilled the beans today. So you have the Navy Fed internal score, you have your card account, your travel spending pattern, okay, your Navy Fed banking, adverse items on your credit record, okay, your credit utilization ratio, and your membership status. Thank you so much for your attention. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.